Welcome back to Kotlin Bootcamp for Programmers. Hi, my name is Muhammad John. In this episode, I'm going to teach you about Kotlin Array. Array is one of the most fundamental data structure in particularly all programming languages. The idea behind an array is to store multiple items of the same data type, such as integer or string, under a single variable name. Arrays are used to organize data in programming so that a related set of values can be easily sorted or searched. Some basic operations of array they are stored in contiguous memory locations. They can be accessed programmatically through their index. They are mutable. Their size is fixed. We cannot change the array size furthermore. In Kotlin, arrays are not a native data type, but a mutable collection of similar items, which are represented by array class. There are two ways to define an array in Kotlin, using array of functions. We can use the array of functions to create an array by passing the value of the elements to its functions. For example, let's see the code. I have the val numbers array of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I have the number 1 array of 1, 2, 3 and its type. This is the explicit type declaration. This is the implicit declaration. Right now, if we create an array of integer type like this, so Kotlin itself knows that we are creating an integer data types. Right now we don't need that, but what if we use the something like string Java? Then we need the data type of any. So right now, if we want to have an integer array, so our array will not allow the list. Right now, this can have a list, it can have a string, this can have long value, double value, any value this can have. So it is one type of array declaration. The second one is using the array constructor. Since arrays in a class, in Kotlin, we can also use the array constructor to create an array. The constructor takes two parameters. First one is the size of the array, and the next one is we need a function which accepts the index of a given element and return the initial value of the elements. I have to name it something else because this is the same name. I can name it number 2. The first thing we need the size, and the second thing we need the constructor. We need a parameter. It is nothing but a lambda functions. If you don't know what is this, it is lambda function that this is the input parameters, and then after that it evaluates or it compute this. After arrow it computes and return that as each and every element. Now lambda argument should be moved out of the parenthesis. Even I can move it out of the parenthesis like this. Look at this array size 0, and out of the parenthesis I can move like this also. Kotlin also has some built-in factory methods to create array of primitive data types, such as byte array, int array, and short array, long array, integer array, lots of them. Now if you see, we have byte array of something, character array, short array, long array. Like this we can create any array using these functions also. Now let me create an array of integer type, int array of val int array equal to int array of like 1, 2, 3. Using int array of, I cannot have a string here. Now see, using int array I cannot have a string. It is the primitive data type. If we use array of, it is a collection data type. So we can use any type in a collection data type, but int array, it is not, it is like primitive data type. In other programming language it is like this, int array, it is like this in Java. In Kotlin it is primitive data type, int array of 1 2 3 anything we want, or val like double array equal to double array of anything, any double value, 1.3 or 2.3 anything else. Now how can we access and modify the array? So far we created an array of different data type. We can create int array, we can create double array, we can also create long array of, we can create short, if we have short array of, we can create byte array of. We have these types of primitive data types we can create also. Now let's do how we can access these elements of the array. Again, we have seen how to create the initialize in Kotlin, array in Kotlin. Now let's see how we can access and modify them. There are two ways to do this, using getter and setter method. As you know, an array in Kotlin is basically a class. Therefore we can access the data of a class object via its member functions. The get and set functions are said to be member functions. Now how we can access? We can access println. I want to access this element. How we can do this? We can specify the numbers. It is a class, so the class has getter and setter number. Getter and setter methods. We can use the getter method, get, and the 0th index of that element. Now print this one. Let's see the output. And also we can use the setter method to change the value. Here you can see the 0. Now I want to change the value of this. Now let's see, I want to change the value, not the print nums dot set. We have setter function, and then set the first, it need two parameters. The first one is index and the second one is value. We can change it to 1. And now if we get the first element, now what will be the output? The output will be this one, because we changed the element of that. And also the second method is index operator. What is index operator? And this is called index operator in Kotlin. Index operator. By the help of index operator we can access the elements. For example, same thing I did here, same thing, I want to change numbers, and index operator, if I want to set the 0, not the 0, the 1, the first element to something like it is 2 here, I want to change that to 2 like this. And now I can get that element with the help of index operator like this, num and index operator of 1. Same thing, I can output here, it is return the number here, and this one we can assign a value with the help of assignment operator directly to the number with the index of 1. Now let's see the output. The second element, this one should be 2. Now 1, and the second element should be 2. This was so cool. Note, internally the index operator, or this index operator, this double quotation, it is square bracket, is actually an overloaded operator, and only stand for call to get and set member functions. Let's see an example of how we can see the set and get methods. Another example. I have the numbers. I have this. I want to access something from this element. I want to access println number 2 dot get, and zeroth element, the first element, and I want to println the number 2 and then this one, zeroth element. Two types of getter, two types of setter. We have get element, and then we can use index operator, and also the same thing, we can num2, then the first index should be index operator, indexed operator. Now I cannot change this because it is the number 2 is integer type, so let's make it as a number 1 2 3, and then we can set that numbers and dot set. Let's set some other value. Set the second one 2, the value should be 3 4 5. This is two type of setter, this is two type of getter. Let's see the output. Now you can see 1 2 3 2, 1 2 3 2. And now one important property of an array is that it can be traversed programmatically, and each element of the array can be manipulated individually. Kotlin supports few powerful ways that you can traverse an array. The simplest and the most commonly used idiom when it comes to traversing an array is use the for loop. The syntax is very simple. Let's see the syntax. So I want to remove all of them, and I just need this and this one. So let's use this one using the for loop. For I in numbers num dot indexes, this function for I in num dot indexes, it will get each and every element index of this element and store it to I, and then you can print that element, println nums, which number, nums, and the index of I. It gets each index of these elements, index of 0 1 2 3, and then store that index in the I variable. Now we want to print, we want to get access element of particular index. Let's see the output. Now you can see we have all the output. This was the second one, the for loop. The first one, it was for loop. And also alternatively we can use the range to achieve the same effect. In Kotlin, a range is an interval between two values, start and end point, and we can be created using this dot sign, and also I talked about this in the list part also. Let's make a for loop using a range. Actually this is cool that we can make a range in Kotlin. In Java we don't have something like that. So the same example, for I in range of 0 dot dot, we can make it like 10, so it will programmatically output for us the I from 1 to 10. It will first of all in the 0th, I will be 0, and the second one I will be 1. Let's print the value of I, println, let's print I. Now let's see what is the output. I wanna comment this one. Now if you see the output, the I value will be from the 0 to 10. Now let's see the I value. See, The same thing, we can use this for loop and to display the list of, or display the value of this array. How can I do that? If I use right now, if I directly access the numbers here, numbers dot get I can access the element of that array. But here, what is the problem? If I do this hard code, it is 0 to 10, it is hard code, so we cannot change this programmatically. Now if I output this, I will get an error because this has only 4 elements, and I'm getting the after 4 element also like 5, 10 up to 10. Now I can remove this 10. As you see, we have a rule, index 5 out of band exception. I can remove this. Now I want this range should go from the 0 up to the size of this number, up to the size of that number. Let's see, how can I find that size? Numbers dot size. Very simple. Now if we go from the 0 to the size of that array, size of that array is 1 2 3 4 5. The size is 4, but index start from the 0, so the Kotlin will get the number and get the index of 5. If I put 5 here, then 5 will have again index 5 out of band exception. We cannot get index of 5. As the index start from the 0, then we can get this one as a -1 because it will start from 0. The size is 5. The first time it will start from 0, it will go up to 4, not the 5. Now let's output this one. We'll get the element itself. Now you can see we have this one, or we have like this from the 0. We have another method also from the 0 until numbers dot count, until the number dot count. Let's see, we can get the output like this also. It will go from the 0 until the number dot count, or the number dot size also. We can use that dot size. This numbers dot size will be 5, so this 4 will go from the 0 until 5, not the 5 not the 5 itself. It will go from the 0 to 5. We can do the for output like this, and we can also have one more arguable listed use way to do the above in using for each loop. We have this one, very simple one. Let's go for the next one. I have nums dot for each. This is I really like this for each in Kotlin, because if I use for each time it will get the value of this array, each index of this array, and it will send us to this 8. This is the 8. It will send us to this 8 lambda function. It is an argument of lambda function, and then we can manipulate, we can access that variables. Now simply I wanna print the 8 value. I wanna print 8 plus just a space. Let's see, I wanna print 8 plus space. Why it is getting something like this? I wanna print inside 8 and the space. Let's see. Now if you see, I am getting 0, so I am getting 1 2 3 4 5. By the help of for each, you can traverse the array very simply. Now I want to show you some basic operations that Kotlin has. They are actually very cool operations in array that you can read and you can use these a lot in your project all the time. What are these operations? Let's see. I want to remove this and I want to create a new one. We have val numbers, array of 1 to 3 to 5. I can get the element by the help of get. I can set the element by the help of set method, and we can print the element like this, arrays dot to string names. Why I'm using arrays dot to string and then numbers? Because if I print itself numbers, if I print ln nums directly, so the program will output us the address of this array. Because it is address, so the program will output us the address of that array. So how we can print the itself the value, not the address? Like this, if we have a list of these elements like this, val nums list, like list of that we already talked about, this list of 1 2 3 4 5. If we have a list like this and then we print the list, we can output the list, but we cannot output the list like this. We cannot output the array like this. Now let's see. We can output where is this? This is the list 1 2 3 4 5. We are printing the list, but we are not able to print an array use like this, print nums. So for this purpose, I'm using the function arrays utility function, and here I am importing java.utils.all. Why I am importing java.utils? As I talked earlier, Kotlin is interoperable with Java. In the same class, you can use the Java code, the Java class. You can initialize the Java class also. Now here I'm using arrays.toString. It is Java class, and inside that parameters, if I send nums, so it will print as itself the number. It will print as itself the number. If I get output, now let's see. Now I can add the numbers nums.plus1. It will add one element, so I can plus element 1, or I can send an array of something like this. I can even send this array again to this plus. Look at this. I can send this array again after this. Now I can print that. Now slice array will get some part of it, some sublist, some array, some part of an array. Now I want to get here from the index 1 to 3, from the index 1 to 3. Now if I output this, so you will get, now look at this, you will get 2 3 4. Why 2 3? Because index 1 is this 2. If I use index 0, you will get from the 0, the first index, to the third index. This is 4. Now I'm placing here, I'm getting the sublist from here. And now nums.first, the first, it will get the first element of this array, and nums.last, it will get the last element of this array, and nums.index of 5, it will get element, and it will output us the index of that element. The 5, it will output us the 5. So we have even 2 5 here. If I put it, we have 2 5, one here and one here, but it will print the first occurrence of that 5 element. So the first occurrence is in position or in index 4, then we can have that 4 here. So that is it for this video. See you soon on the next video with the part of array itself. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and share this video, and if you are new to this channel, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned with the new and cool coding and tutorials about Android, about programming language. See you soon on the next video.